YouTube, can y'all hear now? That's what it is. That was it. You had to hit the green. Remember I was telling you about the green buttons? They have to be highlighted. There they go. Yeah. So we're sorry about that. The green, so all these are always highlighted and then just hit these red buttons. All right, so we should be all good. Thank you so much, those, for bearing with us on YouTube. So Facebook and TikTok, we said we're good to go, right, Stacy? Okay, so good. All right, so Martina, Wink. Rumor has it, though, that you had more than two brothers. You had more than two brothers. That wasn't by your mama or your daddy.
What?
Jockey and Unique, don't even worry about it.
I'm about to say Jockey and Unique. Yes.
Don't even worry about it.
I also did grow up in the house with those, and that was funny.
Okay, because they were really your first two brothers.
Right. Jockey was my first brother. We are 4 years apart.
Okay.
Yeah. We're 4 years apart. So, yeah, we definitely... That's my dog.
Yeah.
That's
See,
my dog.
So y'all had to call it out because Wink, again, is my oldest niece. You're my, like my first child. And I left school to come home and take care of you because your mom, my older sister, one of my besties as well, was a teenage mother. Right? And so you grew up in the household, with me as well.
With all my aunts and uncle.
Yeah.
Including, my Danielle and Squeaky. Like, it was fun growing up.
It was fun.
It really was.
Do you remember some of them days? Because your mom was, 16 when she had you?
Yes, yeah, she was 16 when she had me. So, yes, I remember we was staying on Marshall Courts.
Okay.
34th Street, the alleyway.
The alleyway.
And when the gym truck would come through, like, I needed some candy. Like, yes, everybody, let's go.
I'm going to move my mic this way.
The food stamps, the pack of food stamps.
So
Grandma used to work at
the rental office, right? The gym truck.
It was great. Yeah, I had a great childhood. I can even remember like the people used to I can't remember her name. I'm gonna say Ursula and Maya. They had the
we ain't calling names of like.
I'm just remembering the Halloween party that they had, and we had so much fun. Like growing up was great.
It was fun.
Like,
She was at you was at all the house parties.
Oh my God, yes I was. I was the young ones at the house
at our house party because we had some dope house parties.
It was great.
Okay. It was great. So, Martina, again, growing up, and then what about your dad? Rest in heaven. Yeah.
Yes. Rest in heaven to my father. It's kind of bittersweet, sweet to even kind of like talk about him because. Not to even want to speak bad of.
Yeah, 1 second. What we talking about? If we talking about Facebook, our thing is making sure YouTube is right. If Facebook viewers can't see the full thing, y'all go over to YouTube. Because there's 3 different cameras, and as she moves, that's going to throw this alignment off, y'all. Real talk, chat it up about the real ish. So, yeah. But, yeah, because we want to make sure we're centered here because this Facebook, after a while, is going to go away. But YouTube stands up there, and that's where the dollar bills are going to be coming from. So Facebook, no harm, no shade. Go ahead and click that link and go over there to YouTube, and you're going to get the full view. All right?
So back to Marty Chadwick, my dad. He came in spurts, so I can only remember, like, little things that he did. And, yes, he bought me the Jordans when I asked for them. I had to beg for them and things like that. But... a lot of things that, you can't get back from. So, like, I want to speak about him not even coming to my graduation because he couldn't wear a tie. It was like things that, you can't get back from. And, you wanted more for my little brothers. So, and even now, just seeing that he wasn't there. So, it's just like, repeat a cycle. So.
How did that impact you?
It really hurt. So even now, it's just like, even knowing, like, when my dad passed away, not knowing that I had an auntie.
Okay.
On my dad's side, like all this many years, you know what I mean? And even now reaching out through Facebook, and it's just like, who I am. Like I'm trying so hard to even, to even have a relationship with you now that I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was 2018 was when my Uncle Marvin first came home from jail. And that's when I first met my great aunt. All these many years, that's literally, same city, same state. Same thing that I can say about my dad and my grandmother. Literally stayed up the block. It was 34th Street, and she stayed right there near Leon. So it was like it was never nothing for to connect, or why I couldn't, or why I never had a conversation with my grandmother or my uncle or my dad. It just was careless, or no they never took responsibility, or things like that, to even like want to reach out.
Right.
I feel like our relationship could have been better.
Right.
As far as me even getting older, when he passed away. So before he passed away, it was, I don't know, I guess it was kind of like a tit for tat thing. And I kind of like now he's gone, like, dang, I shouldn't have done that, because he didn't call me for my birthday. My birthday is in December. His birthday is January 4th. He died 4 days after his birthday. So, and then like I said, not even having conversation with my grandmother and things like that. Like, she don't call me, and she always used the excuse of, I'm old. But you've been old all my life. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, well, I when I was younger, I called over there, can I come over the weekend? So of course, Grandma Pitt would make it a way. I'm gonna walk Grandma, she's gonna walk, you know what I mean? Like, we gonna make a way. And, if I had to get stockings, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go to Leon's and get stockings. Like, the grandmas always, you know what I mean? Made a way. And it was just so, my dad it was a lack of effort.
Lack of effort, right? And
mean?
so that, again, that impacted you.
Yeah.
But I heard your dad was like a basketball superstar.
Yes, and yeah, he was good at that. He was good at dancing. He was good at being an artist, a rapper.
Right.
As well as drawing and things like that. When he went to jail, I couldn't believe it. When he came home, he showed me this. He made it out of a wood. It was a piece of wood, and it was my uncle and him, side by side. And I have this tattoo of him, that was the wood. That was of him. So it's like it was more so like their a logo.
Okay.
For the Sons of Billy Brown, their little CD that they did.
Yeah, that they did. Yeah, and they were the dancers, Marty and Marvin. They were light skin.
Yeah, shout out
dark
to
skin.
Shout out to the G5G gents.
The junior gents. Hey, if you're listening to Junior Gents, so I just wanted to get a little bit background about you. So you basically grew up like raised by your auntie, your grandma, your mother, because she was young. But you yourself,
just more so just women.
Just women. You grew up around a bunch of women, right?
Yeah. And shout out to my uncle too, though, because he held it down his senior year. He was there. He was definitely there. Every basketball game, my Uncle Jamon was at my games.
He was at your game, so he showed up. So he did that.
He definitely
did. So your dad played basketball, so you played basketball.
Yes. We played the same position. I was a shooting guard. And later in my 12th grade year, I was a point guard.
Were you good?
I was, Google me.
Hey, okay. Google do they Google Wink or what?
No, they gonna Google Martina. They gonna Google Martina.
So they gonna Google Martina. So you played basketball, and so listen, the title is The Secret That Changed Our Lives, right? So just real quick, we talked about growing up. So you grew up. Your family went to church. Well, at least your auntie, your grandma, went to church. And so did you go to church a lot as a kid?
I definitely went to church a whole lot.
Like stockings, barrettes, dresses?
Man, let me tell you something. My grandma Puddin worked at Cato's. So there was nothing for me to not every Sunday.
Every Sunday,
If it was second service, you better not put a hole in those stockings, because I played the drums too. So if that would snag that stocking, oh my God, we got to go find some nail polish real quick to make that ruin stop. We're gonna make it work. So we're gonna walk to the store and get you a fresh pair of stockings real quick, real quick.
Okay. So again, you grew up in church, right? You grew up with a bunch of women,
right?
Dresses, ponytails. Your dad wasn't there necessarily,
right?
And then you played basketball,
right?
So real smart in high school and all of that. And so as you went to school, would you say you were popular?
I was very popular.
Very popular. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got the stigma of, aren't you Marty Chadwick daughter? Well, who are you?
Yeah, because your dad played basketball,
so they knew you. And see my dad.
Yeah, because you look just like him.
See my mom,
you talk Crosby. You're okay. Yep. And so we did that. So Martina, we're here today because my goal was to help other families, parents kind of navigate conversations with their children, and even children and young adults navigate conversations with their parents. And it's really about like certain stigmas that are attached to us because we make decisions on our sexuality.
Right.
And so we're just pulling the Band-Aid right off.
Okay.
So we transitioned from like basketball growing up and all of that. And as your aunt, I have some personal experiences. And I remember the days
Yes.
when you first started playing basketball.
Okay.
And you played basketball and you used to wear your little skinny jeans, your little tight shirts, and your hair. She had long, long, pretty hair. And I remember one time you coming home and be like, everybody around me is no offense. These words you all is let me give this public service announcement. And so I'm gonna pause the conversation with you for a second. TikTok and YouTube and Facebook. Listen, the words or the conversation or words that I may reference is not to offend anybody. Right. It's just merely to talk about the experience that she had growing up, again, basically in a household that was church. Right? We and I'm getting emotional thinking about it. We proclaimed church. We had certain beliefs. It was considered holiness church. She grew up around all women, and she played basketball. And so let's just call it out. There's a certain stigma attached to basketball.
Right.
There's a certain stigma because you're more you're athletic, and so you have this swag, I'll use about you because you're in the weight room, you got to be tough, you're navigating things. And so when I use the word GAY, I'm not using that language as an offense language, okay? So I just want to say that just for the record. But because this is everyday ish that we talk about, that's the language that's used in public, right? So I remember you coming home, it was like, these gay girls or these gay, they trying to like talk to me. Never. I am not gay. Because you had a boyfriend, right?
Right.
Oh, it's cool. You had these mics, these good mics, y'all. You had a boyfriend. We ain't gonna name none of the boyfriends, but yo,
It was a cover up.
yeah. And so y'all heard it. You said it was what?
It was a cover up.
It was a cover up. But I remember, so when you came home with saying, yeah, these gay girls trying to talk to me, but I'm not gay. They not getting me.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
All right. So first and foremost, it was already in the making, way young.
What do you mean?
You way young, meaning Marshall Court's young.
Okay.
Like, that's how young.
But for the people, they don't know what that is, Marshall Court's young. Your mic is good. We hear you good.
I'm saying like, I don't know, 10.
10.
Yeah, at least I want to say about 10 because we moved uptown Dresden 8th grade year.
Okay, so about
8th
13.
grade year really, 8th grade, 9th grade years really when okay, so this is basically my coming out story.
Yeah.
So,
but you said at 10.
Yeah.
At 10, what do you mean at 10? Like,
I
what
was
was
already having interactions with girls.
Okay.
You know, and like I said, it was just most of people that I hung around with, you know what I'm saying, that I was comfortable with. And I did hang out with guys, but we was more so doing boy things, cops and robbers, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning cap guns and learning how to do, you know what I'm saying, doing things like that.
But then you were still like dressing in the gender of a female.
That's correct.
You had a boyfriend.
I had a boyfriend.
And all of that. And
by the time I was in 8th grade or 9th grade is really when I came out. I remember. I was 8th grade because I was playing JV basketball and it was a Friday night and we had a game that night and I was supposed to go to the movies with my girlfriend at the time. And we had walked to the store and she had a bag, then left it at the bag in the house. And my brother is all but 3 at the time. My grandma Puddin was working at the 7-Eleven at the corner and we went to go see grandma. And that's what it was. By the time I came back, it was just like, it was total chaos. I'm like, what in the world?
I remember because I remember getting that phone call.
Right. So my mom called, but I was told the girl to call your mom when we got in the house. I'm like, what in the world? Like, well, mom, this is my friend. We going to the movies. Mm-hmm. No, you're not. Like, everything is just shut down. Like, what in the world? So mom, now I'm figuring out, like, even still to this day, mom went through her bag. Saw the letter. I'm like, well, even told me, I still don't know what the letter means. Like, you know what I'm saying? What the letter read. Oh, my God.
I know what the letter read because I read the letter.
Well,
but let's slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So before the coming out,
yeah,
and you were going to school dressed like a girl, and then what happened? Were you staying that way or were you changing at school? What was going on?
No. I didn't change. I didn't change at school. one particular day, my mom was like, "Well, you ain't gonna be no dirty dyke."
Oh my God.
Like, what? When was I ever dirty? You know, like, what did you mean? Like, I couldn't believe it.
And then this is young and in high school.
Yeah, like,
and so y'all, we're not laughing, making fun of it, but this is her story. So again, I remember your mom called me. I came there. We read the letter.
Because
this was just supposed to be your friend.
Yes,
this was just supposed to be your friend.
That was my friend. She had never came to the house. I was more so doing the footwork if it was early basketball practice, I'm going to her house. So at the basketball practice, I was doing the most. I was doing the most just to go see her because I knew she couldn't come to my house.
Right.
You know
because we didn't know. You hadn't come out.
Right. It was too much. Her mama knew. But my parents, you know what I'm saying? My folks didn't know. So that's what it was. So that Friday, it was just, we're going to hang out. It was nothing, to do nothing crazy. It was just so we could, hang out. That's what it was. And that weekend, they took me to a women's conference.
So listen, let me jump in there. So let's talk about that because we never really talked about how that impacted you. So it was that weekend I was already planning on, we're not naming churches and anything like that.
Right.
But we were already planning to go to a women's conference. Right. And again, we believed that, let's be honest, like, is Adam and Eve, it was nothing else. And hopefully some of y'all can relate to this. This is, I'm like reserved because I want to be thoughtful about maybe our listeners. Yeah. And I don't want anybody offended by anything we're talking about. And it could be you. But what I believed is all I need to do is get her to church. If I get her to church and if we pray for her, we could cast, do you mind getting some tissue, Stacey? We could cast this spirit out. Now, I need y'all to bear with me and understand where my mindset was at the time, right? And I'm looking at people in my room. My mindset at the time was like, no, we raised her in church. No. She knows is Adam and Eve. She knows, like, she's been around women. She cannot be gay. She cannot be homosexual. Like, she cannot.
I think that at that point in time in your life, like, you was really, 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 when I can't stress it enough. Like, it was church. Like, on Kite, it was church. You know what I mean?
And I did what I knew.
Yeah.
I did what I knew, y'all. I started going to church early at 19, 20 years old. Keep in mind, when Martina was born, I was like ready to turn 15. And so 5 years later, she was always around me, and I took her to church, y'all. I took her to church, and literally, y'all, let me tell y'all, we're having this conversation, really, Stacey, because we just want to help somebody. Yeah. Again, I'm not here to say right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just telling y'all that back then, all I knew is that I needed to get my niece to church because she was a beautiful young lady and the devil is a liar, and I just need this spirit cast out. And y'all, everybody, we were casting spirit. We were throwing oil. We were doing this. And what we didn't realize, Martina, is that it was sending you in a spiral of even young depression, or not feeling like you were worthy of God's love, or not feeling like, oh, gift. Oh, that's a gift. That's what we hear. We turned around like, did we hear applause? Y'all know we live. We look like, okay, Jesus, we sorry. We know that you are a God of love and you love all of us. But back then, Jesus, we didn't know that you love everybody. Like, we knew, but we didn't know. So, Martina, I don't know if you can think back to that moment now of how you felt. How did you feel?
All I know is I was in the back of your van. You drove in the van. And I just was like, I let mine down. It was just like, I was like, oh, man.
Because, I mean, you love your aunt and uncle name, but back then, I was her favorite aunt.
Like,
I was her auntie. That was like her mama.
That was best friend. Like, you know what I mean? That was my best friend. Me and Al-Qaeda everywhere. You know what I mean?
Everywhere.
We going everywhere. Y'all getting dropped. They going to their daddy's. You going to Grandma Katie's house? Oh, okay. you smell like fish. You come back smell like fish. Like, you know
She
what I
funny,
mean?
like, but you stay with me.
Like, come
Now
on.
she talking about my son at his grandma's house came back smelling like fish. Oh, I didn't come back
Like,
smelling.
we coming from church. Like, we all. My first time riding on the plane, we went to New Orleans to a church,
church conference. Because I did women's conferences, leadership conferences.
I'm everywhere.
And so I almost convinced you that something was wrong and that it was something in you that needed to come out of you because of the sexuality.
And by then, I had already been speaking in tongues. Like, it was, it's not like
Baptized.
I didn't know, I didn't know God. I knew God. Can't nobody recite a Bible verse to me. And, you know what I'm saying? I could not know it. I knew the Bible. It was just like, that's just not what I wanted.
That's just, and it didn't mean that you didn't want God, but you knew at that point that you liked women.
Right. Correct.
Like that you like women.
Correct.
And then you talked about letting me down.
Yeah.
And so there was times in your life that you tried very hard not to be.
That's the reason why I had boyfriends. They could come over. They could come over freely, Hey, yeah, it ain't nobody. Oh, hey, how you doing? They got the most love. You want to play, baby?
Yeah, because we wanted to mold you.
Yeah.
Mind you, she's the oldest granddaughter. We didn't have another daughter for a while. And then still your male cousins was younger. Right. And you were around all women. Right. And so you figured like something must be wrong. But no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't change what you were attracted to or what you loved. Correct. And so what about, and again, y'all, listen, I'm an elder in the church right now. I love the Lord. I preach the word. I do all of that. This is not this session. Okay, I just want to call that out. I don't want somebody who's like, oh, now because it's her niece. And I believe God has a way of personalizing things so you can see through a different lens. He will personalize things so you can see through a different lens. All I knew is that I love my niece. And so it was no longer about her sexuality or sexual choices. It didn't change my love for her, but I thought if I loved her that I was displeasing God and that God wouldn't, and that she was going to go to hell. Now, folk around here fornicating. I'm around here fornicating. I'm around here lying and doing all that stuff, right? Mm. However, homosexuality was viewed as different because, that we felt like that was a big sin. Yeah. You know what I mean? So with us going to church and if it finally came out, did you feel ostracized? Did you feel rejected? How did you feel? Then even going after the church, because you played the drums. Could you still play the drums? Yeah. Okay, you played the drums? Yeah, because people really didn't know. It was like she said it, but we kind of try to keep it hush hush. No, we're gonna keep it a secret, like people ain't gonna know because she's gonna be delivered.
No, because even I had a situation or whatever, it came to my attention that somebody that was in the church liking me. That was never the case. I didn't like that person, so yes, I was okay to go back to the church. Right. You know what I mean? So it was like I wasn't attracted to that person. I don't even know. Again, that's another letter that I never read.
Did you never? Like, but they did, and so people were wanting to keep their daughters away from you now because they felt like you were gonna, like you were all of a sudden you were gonna contaminate them.
Like no.
So again, it did come to the point one time though that you couldn't play the drums. Right. Like they were like, okay, no, because you had to be, you had to be in good spirits. You had to be this person, this image.
Yeah, but the preacher kids be the worst ones. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, and listen, y'all, this is about the everyday ish that we, So, hey, come on, in the room, this is a live conversation. This is a everyday conversation about the ish that we as adults go through. And so while we were trying to keep you away from people, not we, but the church, their daughters were still down after you. Right.
And I wasn't interested.
And you weren't interested, but you were still were considered like the bad person. I was
the contaminated person.
You were the contaminated person. And so once you came out and you shared it, did you feel free? Yes. Did you feel like how did you feel once you finally got it out?
Literally somebody in the church said, "You look like you free and happy now." I said, "Oh, I am. Thank you."
Okay.
I'm glad that you noticed that.
Yeah. Because now people notice that you were free. Mm-hmm. You felt good.
You know how many times that so many people then came to the church and came back, left the church and came back. I didn't see that as a child. You done came back to the same church,
So it was okay for them to do it, but because you said you like girls,
right?
And there was a lot of times that we blame basketball. Is that basketball team? Is that basketball?
Definitely not.
It's basketball, but literally,
it was definitely not basketball.
And it was before. Yeah. It was before basketball, right. And so did you? Because you said 10, and I feel like at 10, like how do you even know what you want at 10? But you knew that your attraction was to girls. Mm-hmm. You knew your attraction was to girls. And so, again, hard for the family to receive. We still loved you, but it's still, and so now I'm telling you through my lens, like I love her, that's my niece, but I would separate the two. I saw you, I didn't see your sexuality, and I tried to block those things out like it didn't exist. And y'all, to the point now, mind you, she came out in the 9th grade. You came out 9th grade.
Right.
And now we're coming up to senior year. What did we do for senior year? Did you go to prom with a girl?
No, I didn't.
Because we weren't having no prom pictures.
I was tight.
With a girl.
I was so tight.
She wasn't gonna be in no prom pictures with a girl. Because let me tell y'all, so what happens is now we're like, okay, it's just a phase. She gonna grow out of it. And so we went prom shopping. We wasn't buying no tux. And y'all, I'm telling you. And look, she put that dress on. We be like, look at you.
Let me tell you this. My mama said, well, if I'm not buying no tuxedo, but I'll buy a dress. So I had, it was. So my best friend Junior was like, I go with you. That's my road dog. Yeah. Like, literally.
So you went with your best friend. Y'all, I wish we had pictures. We're going to get to the point where we can show a picture she got on her phone. I don't know if we can put it in front of the camera. But when I tell you, y'all, I remember that it was a burnt orange dress. That chick was bad. And y'all already know the auntie got a rump shaker, mama and all that.
I ain't had nothing.
You did have it in that dress, though.
I did.
She did. Y'all, we had her hair like whipped up. That's when you wore the buns and finger waves and stuff.
Kaida was just playing in makeup. So she was just learning how to do her makeup. So she did my makeup.
And honey, y'all, when I say in that picture, I mean, she was fly, okay? And she took that prom picture. But what you do after prom, for the after prom?
Ooh.
She changed them clothes.
At the prom, the dress was up. Me and Junior, when I tell you we had a time, you would have never thought I had a dress on. Really. Like, I really enjoyed myself. Like, I still was myself.
You were able to be yourself, but you was cute, and she knew how to act. So let's talk about this, Martina. Okay. So again, that's what I want to say, that there are some children out here, or there's some individuals, not just children, adults, who want to come and talk about their sexuality. And the thing is, whether people are going to agree or not, and again, I'm not here to talk about agreement, they just need to tell it. So y'all, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna show this picture, y'all. Stacy got it. So watch that YouTube camera, Stacy. So she gonna show y'all this picture of my niece. She gonna start with TikTok, y'all. It went somewhere. Don't scroll. What we don't want to do is scroll. She 35, so if she like most adults, we taking pictures of stuff. Ain't you, Renee? You still take pictures and you don't. So look at the picture, TikTok. That's her in that burnt orange dress now, right there. Good. TikTok, see it? Okay, YouTube. The camera right there behind you. Yeah, And then hand it to Renee. YouTube, you can see it right there. Y'all see it on YouTube? Yes, honey, because she was going to be dressed. Renee, hold that one in front of Facebook.
Now I ain't got none.
Like, look, put it up, Renee. All the way. There you go. Up a little bit more. There you go, Renee. Hold it right there. Yeah. Down a little bit, Renee.
No, but like,
there you go. Y'all see her.
I'm built like Grandma Joe.
Listen, y'all see it.
Small down the bottom.
There she go. Thank you so much, Renee. So we wanted to show y'all that picture to say, again, in our mind, we were convinced like, oh, this is it. This is it. And then she went off to college and everything like that. So Martina, let's go into another area of it, which is kind of big. So our thought was, okay, it's a question. Okay. But our thought was, thank you so much for saying she's beautiful. Hey, Carla.
Thank you.
Listen, let's say this real quick. Let's say this. So it got to a point though that we were still like straddling the fence, and then all of a sudden, like, I don't know when or how, but we just, when I say embraced it, you no longer had to like walk on eggshells about your sexuality. Everybody. And y'all, let me say, acceptance people can say is agreement. Again, blah, blah, get your own, get your channel and talk about it. My whole thing is as a family, we knew that we couldn't halfway love you or halfway do whatever. And so at a certain point, you could begin to bring your girlfriends around, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you when, but I just know that my mom was really adamant about me not just, just being out there. You know what I mean? Like, care for yourself type. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
she didn't.
Kept yourself up.
Yeah, keep yourself up. So let me ask this, because we know that sexuality or look doesn't have, just because your preference is to dress in the style, the masculine, like I don't know all the but there are some people who date women who dress like women as well.
Yes.
And we have a couple of times. How do you decipher? How did you know that you prefer the masculine side of the relationship? Because the thing is, if girls like girls, why did you have to dress like a guy?
Okay.
If she like you,
Understood.
And then we're gonna get to the questions, y'all. I think there's some questions.
As for me, because I don't know, I did hang around a lot, guys. It was just, I was one of they always broed me. You know what I mean? They embraced me as bro. And just like you said, and it was so easy to adapt to that because it was basketball. But it wasn't because of basketball is what I chose. You know what I'm saying? I chose my sexuality based
Okay, so say that again for the people. Like say it to people.
I didn't base my sexuality off of basketball. That's definitely a big stigma that a lot of people, try to put, other lesbians in a box, and that's not right. That's not cool.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
So your sexuality had nothing to do with your love for basketball.
Right.
It was just your preference of style. So you were more comfortable.
Right. I am very, very much so comfortable. I didn't like the fact. Okay, let me tell you this. So it was like a world epidemic of the Peninsula District girls basketball. Everybody coming out gay. You know what I mean? And by this time, we was already, wearing ties, and I didn't care for the wearing ties, but you know what I'm saying, dress pants, collar shirts, things like that. We looked better than the guys that actually had to wear it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But it was a particular game, and it was just like, none of that no more. Coach, just, cutthroat. And Grandma Punt was working at Cato's, and it was just like, oh, she about to eat this up.
She about to get you a dress.
Oh my God. It was, needless to say, anytime that, I had to wear girl clothes, I'm going to put it on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to make sure I'm dressed. You know what I mean? So whether or not if I was wearing a dress pants or a skirt, you know what I mean? Or, whatever, I'm going to make sure I look good.
You look good, but that's still, putting a dress on didn't still change your sexuality. It didn't make you all of a sudden, I'm like guys.
Now I feel like I'm getting joked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's not because I couldn't wear in heels. I'm like, man, I gotta walk in heels. Dang, Wink, you gotta, they're talking about my hot pies. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
yeah, you didn't want them looking at your booty.
No, don't.
No, you come from a family with booty.
Right.
Booty.
Right.
Listen, so again, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable about that. But there was a question that someone asked, and it says, Martina, since you know at age 10, how did you deal with the uncomfortability of not being able to be you?
Oh man, that was a good question. I just adapt to who I was around, and like I said, I was the only child.
Okay,
so I really didn't, it was just always me, so. I couldn't. I don't know how to like really say it, but I didn't have myself to compare to other people at that time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, I was just going with the flow. And as far as adults go, they didn't. It was never a question about that. If they never said it out loud to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't never hear it. You know what I mean? Because if I heard it, I'm going to tell, you know what I mean?
You would have told it back then.
Definitely, yeah.
And then the reality is, as you grew up, like parents, let me say this, and y'all may not want to hear it, but we know.
Right.
Like parents, you there's something and you want to block it out. You want to block it out. Wait a minute, little Jimmy acting a little feminine, and playing with dolls don't
Right.
make you gay.
I have
or
one
homosexual.
one picture that's still on the refrigerator right now at my mother's house.
Uh-huh.
That I have a doll baby. I don't like.
Like a
What?
doll. So, but I'm just saying, playing with a doll doesn't make you a girl.
Right.
Just like playing with a truck doesn't make you a guy.
Right.
And so what we're trying to do today, of course, is to remove the stigma that's associated with basketball, or if I'm an auto mechanic woman,
Please.
doesn't mean that now I'm gay. But there is a stigma, or just because I'm athletic or more masculine in style doesn't mean that I'm homosexual or a lesbian or whatever. And what is the what is the appropriate term? What is the term? Is it lesbian? Is it like what is the term?
Lesbian.
Just is
Yes,
lesbian.
lesbian.
But even within your own community, is there stigmas? Is there discrimination? Talk about
Definitely.
even within your community. Do y'all like all embrace each other and sing kumbaya?
No, I don't know why it's a thing that says like why other studs, and studs meaning other masculine women that dresses like a guy, don't like each other. I think that's funny.
So when you come in a room, they checking you.
Dang, like that's one of us. Let me see what she got on. Check you. You know what I mean? Like, there you go. Who she with?
So guess what? It don't change, because when I walk up in the room,
'cause
they
you
be like, they
already
do that
know.
to me
Like,
too,
dang, who is
DC.
that?
DC Pooh, they do that. They be like, who that? And you know what I'm saying? So it's not gender based,
You know
but
I'm
in
clear.
our
Like,
mind,
yeah.
right? Okay.
You know I'm coming trim. I'm trim.
You good. But listen. So there are stigmas, but let me ask you this too. What about people when they come up to you because you dress like a guy? Because one time your hair was shaved. How do we handle that?
Oh my God.
Like, because we was like, okay, you go.
First of all, and that was my fault. That was my fault. I didn't know.
Because why you shave your hair? I've been wanting to ask you that.
I wasn't trying to shave my hair.
Y'all, she shaved her
I
hair
was trying
too.
to do a
I'm
low
talking about.
Caesar, right? I went from dreads. It was drastic. I went from dreads
Stacey, you went from dreads to what?
a low Caesar.
A low.
Like a zero.
We saw her. We like.
And we had to take family pictures.
Oh, I would have been crying.
Oh my God.
I was mad. Like,
Oh my God.
you took my hair down and this is it. Oh my God. It was almost skint. Almost skint.
And so how did it affect our family?
I mean, it was just like, why you do that?
Like, because we was like, we can accept it, but now you ain't gonna be walking around looking like.
Wait. I came around the corner. My mom was like, ew.
And y'all know my sister Todd. I don't know where she at. I don't even know if she watching. Like, Todd, where you at? She watching. Hey, Todd, you should have been here.
Ma, you said, ew. You probably want to say, that's nasty, Tina. That's nasty.
Listen, y'all, it is good that we can laugh. And I thought, again, there's probably so many other things that we can go into. Stacey said there's a comment, maybe from YouTube or TikTok or something.
On YouTube, can you all talk about the aspect of the parents feeling like they did something wrong?
Oh, yeah. So my sister isn't here, but like Martina mentioned, like I was mama. Like me and my sister, like I feel like we co-parented because my niece was with me all the time. There was no separation between my niece and my children. And so for a very long time, not just myself, my sister, but my mom, we felt like we missed it. We felt like we had done something wrong. We felt like, and then the other thing is like, who did something to you or who touched you?
Who touched your cake?
Who touched you? Because y'all, there's different.
No, for real.
Let's be serious. Like, there's different reasons why people may migrate to drugs, alcohol, their sexuality. We're not trying to put those things in a box. But for her, at 10, she knew that she was attracted to women. And when we think back, we saw little stuff, but we was like,
Right.
Like, and we're going to put her hair in the biggest ponytails that we could and the cutest outfits. And she was always cute and always dressing when we went, on cruises. She going to put on a bathing suit. She wasn't putting on. So all that stuff. So we really thought we did something wrong. And we hadn't. But what we did do wrong is put her in a box and probably added to some of the rebellion that began to come because now it was like can you do anything right? We didn't. It's almost like, can I trust her? Can I trust her now? Because you feel like you like, where did this come from? This snuck up on us. But really, it didn't sneak up on us. And if my sister was here, I don't even know if she would comment, but it didn't sneak up on us. We you had an idea, but again, you keep trying to push those things aside, hoping that it's not, hoping that is you.
I'm laughing because before my dad passed away, it was a day when I was visiting, and we're in the living room, and he goes, just randomly, like real random.
We keeping it PG, like, because I know.
He goes, Tina, you the boy or the girl?
I know.
I'm like, where did that come from?
Right.
Like, you the boy or the girl? I know you the boy. I know you the boy. I'm like, dang, Dad. He was like, yeah, I know you. So when I first, brought one of my friends over, he was like, yeah, you my daughter. You my daughter.
Oh, because now he looking at your girl like, oh, you got good taste.
Now you got
like
good
you,
taste.
like you
all
feel like it.
Yeah.
But again, the style of masculinity, does that mean that you take the role of the masculine person in the relationship? Because again, my question has always been, if girls like girls, why you got to be like a boy?
Right, I feel you, but I think that's whatever they determine in their relationship.
Because there are some girl and girly looking girls that date.
I don't understand. For me, I don't understand two masculine women together. I don't understand that. And you got some that would date a transgender woman. I don't understand that.
Okay, so you will, so y'all, we ain't even going all the way out there. I probably couldn't keep up with it because it's big. But you're saying as a masculine lesbian woman, she may date a transgendered man who dresses like a woman. So they're really not in a homosexual relationship.
That's a heterosexual relationship.
It's heterosexual because they have opposite, yeah.
But because of their minds is there, they don't think that.
Okay. So the guy who's dressed like a girl thinks that she's dating the guy, which is really a girl.
Correct.
And then
you understand.
Yeah, okay. And then the guy that's acting like the girl acts like the
correct.
girl.
You picking up what I'm putting down.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine because, I'm not homosexual, but sometimes I feel like, I'm in charge.
Yeah. I mean, but
and
that's
I
what
had
I'm
to
saying,
be reminded.
though,
So that's what I'm saying. Even in your
relationship,
heterosexual relationships,
it could be that. You know what I mean? Who wears the pants?
Like who wears, and we got to be reminded.
And then you got to understand that you are the woman. Like, you got to
pipe down, like you gotta do it. So it's a lot that comes with it. What about your brother growing up? Both of your brothers, when they looked at you, I know your cousins in them, but what did they do?
My brothers love the fact, you know what I mean, that I am.
Do they talk to you about their girls?
What do they? Man, listen. First of all, Makai G is just, I don't know, like he's a very, very, very smart person. Very smart. Like
How old is your brother again? 22?
Yeah, I'm Makai.
22.
21, 22. He up in there. Yeah. But Makai, he's very smart, and he was the first person that like said the word, I probably say it wrong, and androgyny to me. Like being an androgynous, masculine women dressing like putting makeup and things like that. He was like, well, are you? I'm like, no. Like, you know what I mean? But just like when I wore the whole, everybody was joking me because the blazer that I wore at the fashion show. No, I didn't have a bra on. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, did I not come trim? You know what I mean? Like, did I not look good in it?
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so.
But they would have let a woman do it, and it would have been fine.
Right.
But now because you're a girl acting like a guy who now want to not wear a bra, we're like, what are you doing? Right
now, I'm what is it, Captain Crunch? Like, they was joking me, but at the same time, like I knew they understood that side.
Yeah. So you did good. But I remember times when people see you and they say, "Excuse me, sir," how do you react?
I mean, it doesn't bother me because this is what I portray. You know what I'm saying? This is what they see.
But I remember times when somebody say, "Excuse me, sir," you say, "I'm a woman."
Man. Yeah.
You was like, "I'm a woman."
Because they know. They see that every day.
Right. But what about this? Let's go over there. When you have a beef And you got grown cousins now. And a dude think they can come to you now because they was like, oh, you acting like a dude. What you gonna do? You ain't gonna fight no man, are you?
No.
You gonna call your peoples.
Look, I know who I am, a woman at the end of the day.
What you say?
You know, I'm a woman at the end of the day.
At the end of the
it's
day.
just like, you think he gonna do what? You gonna dump me? Oh, keep that same energy real quick. Yeah.
And so those are the things, though, that you still had to deal with. And even sometimes guys be like, back up.
Yeah.
Because now they're threatened by you.
Yeah.
They're threatened. So you have to get it, you know, or had to deal with it from girls that would you say take the masculine role as studs. You had to get it from guys. And then you got to deal with your own internal things. Yeah. Did you ever have depression? Were you ever depressed about it? Did you ever struggle? Did you ever say, like, how do I come out? Like what do you want to share?
I feel like I was forced to come out because of how the situation, you know what I'm saying, it was.
Because you had no plans of telling us yet.
I feel like it would have been easier because I'm in high school. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually becoming myself. You know what I mean? But in the way how basketball and everything was already in line, you know, we was already wearing ties and things like that. So it was just like, now I got, you know what I'm saying? Like now I'm forced to say. Then I remember when we went to Baltimore and you know what I'm saying? Now I see my cousin. Why? Like everybody like her, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is still, dang, I want to go get the new pennies too. Dang,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But it is what it is. But as far as my journey goes, I appreciate it because, like I say, like I still know God. I was still going to church right now, and you know, and still.
And you love God,
right?
And you know that God loves you.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Like, I was trying to be around a lot more because I feel like I strayed away from church when I was probably like 17.
But is that because you were lesbian?
No.
Is that what? No. Because people stray away, right?
Right.
Okay.
People do stray away, but as far as that goes, it's like I was trying to, like, form a group. Not even say I want to say form a group, but be around more people that have the same intentions that I had. You know
and what does that mean?
Like,
Tell us more about it.
You know, just having a relationship with God, and you know what I'm saying, and trying to you know, fathom the way of my sexuality. You know what I'm saying? So like we had people that was in our church that, you know what I'm saying, that was dealing with that. So I felt like, and I was more so close, and we was in the same school, you know what I'm saying? We hung around the same people. So even when going to their church, before, you know what I'm saying, before coming together, we would go there every fourth Sunday and dance. Like that was my first time my mom actually came and saw me dance. And I couldn't believe it because they allowing us to dance and worldly music in the church.
But you couldn't.
But you know what I'm saying? But other than that, it was just like, you know, you still get side-eye.
You still get side-eye. So it's like we were on to pick and choose.
Yeah.
How we utilize you.
Yeah.
Would you say now, again, being 35 years old and now, you know, still, you know, going to church, how do you is that my kid? Sorry, y'all, we on live. Jordan! Hey, y'all know this is live broadcasting. Jordan is back home from Hawaii. I'm sorry, we're live. We're on podcast. Right, like, I can't get any liver than this. You're gonna ride your scooter when we get off podcast, and like, we got 5 minutes. We're about to wrap it up. Wait a minute. How do we? Oh, because we got too many cameras right now for me to. Y'all better. So, again, you would say, in our last couple of minutes, you were saying, again, just because you made your decision with your sexuality had nothing to do with the fact that you had a love for God.
Right.
And that when you get into the presence and spend time with God, that you can sense his presence just as well as anyone else.
Correct.
And for anybody who questions that, what would you say? They don't know God.
Yeah, you see, I'm just looking, shaking my head because it's like literally, even I need him more now.
You need him more now.
Yeah. I need him more now.
Yeah. And so, Martina, like, I don't have the thank you to offer. I pray that something we've said has helped somebody today. I pray that For the parents who say, that's my child, or just know that is your child, your baby, your niece, your nephew, your grandchild, however you want to do it. And our first job is to love them and create room for them to express. Go ahead.
That's it. That's the only thing is just love. For the parents, it's never nothing that you guys did. Really. Like I said, as you guys hear my story, church. You know, I had the love, whether it's, you know, whether my dad was absent or not, I still got the love. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, we gonna figure, you know, everybody gonna go and figure their way out. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it's a job, you know, everything. They gonna figure their own journey.
And so
just,
let y'all.
You know, it's just really just, you know, just being there.
And it's still respect.
And having the conversation.
Because it's still about respect.
Yeah.
So girl, guy, or whatever.
Educate yourself.
And know and have the conversation.
Right. So you won't be ignorant. You know?
Right.
Right.
Because people are killing themselves.
Right.
Because they can't tell their families.
Correct. That's real big. That's real big.
Yep. We have about 3 minutes. Any final words? You talked about it to the parents. What would you tell that teenager or that adult? Because it's some grown adults or women who've been married or men who are married who like, I can't
Still
pretend any further. Yeah.
Let yourself free.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. Whatever it is, just let yourself free. Have the conversation. Find that person that you can, you know, confide in and have the conversation. Because it's going to eat you alive. It's going to drive you to a point where, you know, you just can't take it no more.
And be miserable. So again, y'all.
And be miserable and depressed.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. Again, if you like to watch the replay or share it, our goal, y'all, we need 3,000 views on YouTube. We're almost at 7,000 followers. All we need is 3,000 views. I think we're a little bit over 1,500 in the last few weeks. And if you go over there and just view it, that'll help us with our viewership, help us create finances so we can keep this thing going. Stacey has something in closing?
Yes, one last comment. Tara is in full support of you, and Tracy says that Tara has done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
That you know who you are. And
Thank
you're
you.
very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tracy, let me tell you one thing. Ta ain't do that. That's me. Didn't I tell you I'm Al-Qaeda and we did it. I'm this baby's daddy. And I'm my sister's mama. Like, hey, Ta. So y'all, thank y'all so much. Thank you so much for coming out. Can we get some hand claps? Renee just learned the switchboard today. She gonna find the switchboard. Yay. If you on YouTube, you heard the switchboard. Yay. So thank y'all so much. Martina and I are going to dance our way out. Can we get the music? Hey, come on. Hey. Oh my. Get it. TikTok. Thank y'all so much. All right. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Hey, Facebook. Renee is going to hit that button right there to say finish. We'll see y'all soon, Facebook. Thank you. YouTube, this is where it's at. Like, follow, share, and hit that subscribe button. And until next time,
We out.